Hello everyone, and welcome back to Train Sim World 5, where today we are back on Train Sim Germany's Mittenwaldbahn route, which I wanted to take another look at since Train Sim Germany have updated the route. Most notably, they have slightly changed the sounds on the OBB 1020, the locomotive you're looking at right now. They've also fixed the tunnel light baking issues that were present on release, and they've also fixed the cows so they don't wander onto the tracks anymore. Quality of life updates, everybody. So yeah, let's get in and start the OBB 1020. So mouse switch forward, mouse key. There we go. Control supply on. And then also pantograph up. There we go. Pantograph is up. Set the circuit breaker so we can get power. Compressor on. Blowers to slow. Train heating on. Battery charger on. Headlights on. Instrument lights on. Lighting switch to full. Brake pin unlocked. Train brake to running. Relock the brake pin. Release the locomotive brake. Sound the whistle. And then machine room lights on. Open the door. Go to the panel. Set the CFA and induce circuit breakers, and then go over to here. I know we're getting onto tracks here, but hear me out. And then also unisolate the CFA via the valve on the train. So yeah, there we go. I think this is the first time I've ever used Inducey, because it's not used on too many German trains on this game, even the retro ones. So Inducey is basically like PZB, but with less safeguards. That's what I've heard anyway. I'll have to acknowledge every single signal when we're going under 70 kilometers an hour. So yeah, Innsbruck is a lovely station, I must say. We've needed the Mittenwaldbahn for a while. I had a bit of a go before the Mittenwaldbahn for TSW was released. I actually got it as part of the Train Sim Classic core package, which is current as of right now. Right, let's run her up and get ourselves out of here. Next stop, Innsbruck Westbahnhof in 900 meters. We are going today as far as Scharnitz, which is the last station on the Austrian side of the border. This route is quite heavy on the old performance for some reason, so apologies for any low frames today. One thing I love about the dynamic suspension on the 1020 is that the hoods on either end rattle. Alright, come on, buddy. The 1020 is probably the most difficult to drive locomotive in this game. It was originally built back in the 1940s, and it really shows its age, honestly. I'm having to hit the acknowledge for every... There's another 1020. Wait, what? Wait, what? How have I already managed to get the Inducey to be a pain in the rear end? Oh my goodness, this is going to be a long trip, fellas. I should also probably get the cab light. Actually, no, leave the cab light off. Brake off. one plus of the 1020 is it has boatloads of braking power. And despite our little mishap with the Juicy, not bad. Alright, this is the last stop on this main line before we head on to the Mittenwaldbahn proper. So yeah, there's a couple of 1020s. There's a BR-103 from Link Rheinstrecke over here. Nice. There has a couple of playable services, but along with the Rheingold coaches too. One thing about Mittenwaldbahn, which I'm not too much a fan of, even though it's realistic, is that it doesn't have too many layers from other routes, and I know that's realistic, but it's still disappointing to see 1020s and 111s all the time. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. Alright, we do have a 40 limit coming, so quick off. And if Trains of Germany manages to do it, we are going to be getting a German version of the Crocodile. We are going to be getting the the BR-194 and E94 rail tour pack for Link Rheinstrecke at some point. We don't know when that. No release date has been released yet, but hey, one can always hope. It is officially a gameplay pack. The Trains of Germany have done so many changes to the 1020 models that it just seems a bit ridiculous, honestly. You should go have a look at the latest Dovetail monthly roadmap if you want to have a look at it. And then also, what's pretty cool is part of the proceeds from the sale of the BR-194 and E94 rail tour pack is actually going to go to the museum that let them have access to the real E94, which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. One thing about the 1020, you really have to concentrate when driving this thing. It is an absolute. It will bite you in the butt if you don't know exactly what you're doing. A bit like the Expert 101, honestly. What? I acknowledge that signal, you piece of crap. You. Juicy, man, sometimes Juicy just drives. This is my first time using a Juicy, and wow, those are some seriously powerful loco brakes. Alright. We're just about ready to leave. But... is there another train coming down? Oh, there is. See, it's a light 1020, I think. It's on our section of line. Let's see if I can find it. So yeah, after this station is where the gradient starts getting absolutely nuts. And the Mittenwaldbahn is such a harsh little railway that it hasn't had any enlargements done. Like, no second track, no higher speeds, no nothing. Yeah, he's a considerable way up. Where is this guy? But just right there he is, just coming out of the last tunnel. Oh my goodness, there's a plane coming in, and it looks like an Airbus A300. Nice. I'm not going to get to Innsbruck Allerheiligenhofe in time. Not unless this this 1020 hurries up. He's not even. He's okay. He's going at line speed. If you hear the sound of a vacuum cleaner on the microphone, sorry, I can't do anything about that. Let's see. See if I... Nope, I want to open the door. Door, thank you. Oh, there we go. See if I could explore this area while I'm here. See if there are any buildings I could go in. This is very much a little suburban platform stop. Not really anything to see around here, that's for sure. Okay, there is a small area. With the proper timetable. I love these authentic OBB period correct timetables. The Trains of Germany really went all out with this route. Ah, yes, this is one of the collectibles. In real life, there is this marketing campaign by, I can't remember, the German state of Bavaria, I think it was, where basically people would take these stickers and put them on. They basically say, "Not here. Have you ever heard of Bavaria?" And Trains of Germany have done something similar. So, not here. Have you ever heard of the Mittenwaldbahn, which is their other route, which I can also highly recommend, which I'd say is well worth full price these days. Even despite the fact it's what, 2 years old, and it's aged really well. Oh yeah, here he comes. Look at him. Holding me up. Can't believe it. Making me late. Alright, there he is. Look at him. Why are you not releasing? in Ducey. Let's just go, man. Hello? Train, we're supposed to be moving, mate. What's going on here? Oh, that's why. My brakes were an emergency. Let's get out of here. We're already late enough as it is. Let's get out of here. Another train to Germany that I cannot wait for is the BR420 for the Frankfurt S-Bahn route. Now, on PC, the Frankfurt S-Bahn route seems to be really, really good. On console, it just has a reduced timetable, but I won't talk about that here. I'll let people natter about that controversy elsewhere. So, the BR420 for the Frankfurt S-Bahn route, I can't wait for, because that seems pretty good. And it also seems we'll be getting a backdated Frankfurt S-Bahn version of the BR420 for use as AI on the Mittenwaldbahn at Bad Vilbel and Hildeberg and Verdecken, which is pretty cool. Yeah, frame rate is not that good. Innsbruck Aller Heiligenhofe in 1 kilometer. I don't know if this route is just like poorly optimized or what. I don't really know why the frame rate is so bad. 800 meters to go. I know I'm really, really late, but hey, it is what it is. Now, if you are going to do mountain railways, this is the way to do mountain railways. The scenery is just top notch. It's definitely worth full price. Innsbruck Aller Heiligenhofe. It's a little mountain platform. Wrong button. That's the button. Yeah, we barely fit in the platform. Holy. So, next, our stops for today are Innsbruck Hauptbahnhof, Innsbruck Westbahnhof, Innsbruck Hoting, Innsbruck Aller Heiligenhofe, where we're at right now, Hochzurl, Leithen bei Seefeld, Rieth bei Seefeld, Seefeld in Tirol, Giesebach, and Scharnitz. 8 kilometers to Hochzurl. No more signals for a bit, so I don't have to worry about a Ducey biting me in the butt. My goodness, the frame rate. Goodness gracious. Why? Why is the frame rate so low? I modify my graphics settings and it does precisely nothing to try to fix the bad frame rate. What is going on here? This is actually one of the I think the only locomotive in the game with no CFIT indicator light, just a CFIT buzzer, which is a bit interesting. Wow, Hochzurl is nearly at the top, is quite a ways away. Seems to be the 1020 that's causing the low frame rate. I love the Silberlinge Endwagens, man. They're so cool. That's it. There's our first tunnel. Why did I just hit the Inducee? That's weird. Oh, man. This has to be one of my favorite surfaces in TSW. Crawling up the Mittenwaldbahn is one of my, from Innsbruck up towards Seefeld is so cool, man. Goodness. One nice thing about this throttle is I can micro adjust it to get like the perfect throttle input, which is nice. Okay, signals coming up. Remember, chaps, this is my first time using a Ducey, so... There we go. And I didn't get an emergency brake application. Nice. Okay, we do have a passing point. Another signal. I'll just hold the Inducee until after we're past the signal. My goodness, this is a short tunnel. Come on, buddy. Let's get up the hill. The reason this service terminates at Scharnitz is because Scharnitz is the last station before the border with Germany in this time period. We were I don't think either country were in the Schengen zone, so no free border crossings. You actually have an extended wait at if you're doing a cross-border service, you have an extended wait at Scharnitz or Innsbruck before, not Scharnitz or Mittenwald before you can cross the border because they're checking people's papers. Unfortunately, in conductor mode, you can't check people's papers, but I think that's because that's like a just like a game limitation of conductor mode. Sadly, my goodness, that is a long way down. Oh, my goodness, that is such a long way down. No more signals for a bit, which is nice. My goodness, the frame rate's getting even worse. 20 FPS, that is briefly 20 frames per second. That is ridiculous. Tunnel. Oh, this is, okay. I think coming up is the longest tunnel on the route. Yeah, this is the longest tunnel. It goes from here to about here. So it's about 2 kilometers long. And into the tunnel we go. Take a good look. That's one of the best views you can get in this game. Do you see? So yeah, this is what it looks like with normal instrument lights. Yeah, those are the 2 instrument light settings you can have. My goodness, that CIFA buzzer just scared me. Goodness gracious. We're about 2/3 of the way through the tunnel. No, I think we have to be more than that, right? I think I see the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel, ladies and gentlemen. You can definitely tell that the sounds on the 1020 have definitely gotten an upgrade. Like, the motor sounds are actually a lot louder. I honestly want to put up the windows. There, and welcome back to the light. And we're back into another tunnel. Oh my goodness. One kilometer to go. Are there any trains coming down from north of Hochzerl? Okay, there is a train coming in, the Garmisch-Partenkirchen to Innsbruck, which I think is a local. I don't know. Hard to tell. So I think it could be a local, but I can't believe this railway was built in 1912. It really seems a lot more modern than that because it's just so steep. Yeah, we're like 5 minutes late. This is ridiculous. Which means the train in front might actually get clearance to go before we do. One thing that was actually a new innovation was this that was later added to, of all things, the remastered West Somerset Railway was passengers can actually use these little foot crossings here. I'm guessing my clearance to the next stop, which is Leithen by Seefeld, might get revoked. Oh my goodness, the NPCs in this game, holy! Even on good routes, the NPCs in this game are buggy as crap. Leithen by Seefeld in 2.5 kilometers. We did get clearance onto this part of the line. Okay, now this is where we start the diversion for this valley right here, where we get to go over the viaduct. I can't remember the name of the viaduct, but it's like the major bridge of the route. Look at that view! Holy! One good thing about this being a single track line is there are hardly any... I thought they fixed the light baking issues that some of the tunnels had. Yeah, oh well, it's not the end of the world. I know there's quite a few there are quite a few routes in this game, especially made by Dovetail and Rivet, where light baking issues are extensive. Oh, here's the viaduct. Yeah, good luck while you can, and we're back into a tunnel. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I know I've called out other routes for having light baking issues before, but it's not the end of the world, given like a lot of other routes like Count to Aachen, LGV Mediterranee are very much afflicted by light baking issues. 900 meters to Leithen. Oh yeah, service 5435 is having to wait for me. meters to Leithen. I think after the next stop we'll actually start to the route will actually start to go down. I think the highest point on the route is near-ish Seefeld. Welcome to Leithen. We're still running 5 minutes late. It's just a station. It's just a shack. And then there's a road heading down to a tiny little settlement. Goodness. Reith by Seefeld in 1.9 kilometers. Sorry, mate. The trouble is, if you're late, you're holding up other people who need to use your section of track, but you're late, so you're blocking the whole thing. So yeah, I have two major complaints about this route. Number one, why isn't it better optimized? But then I can say that about every single dovetail route that's released since TSW3 was announced. And B, the tunnel light baking issues, while being relatively minor, still need to be fixed. But other than that, this is a perfect route. I absolutely love it. Absolutely. It is absolutely mind-bogglingly beautiful. It has superb quality rolling stock. Meters to Reith by Seefeld. Then Seefeld proper is where the route really starts to level off. It's in between Reith by Seefeld and Seefeld where the route levels off, I think. I do like the Endwagons. I've actually got every end Endwagen in the game. Originally introduced with Bremen to Oldenburg and then recycled in mint livery for Link Rheinstreck and then changed to the diesel variant for the VR218 add-on and then reskinned and re-interiored for this add-on. Sorry, mate. Oh, that's an overshoot. There we go. We haven't had any more Inducee problems, which is nice. This is what, yeah. The route starts to level off after this station. I wonder if there's anyone who's found all the collectibles for this route, because Trains of Germany specifically stated that they made the collectibles hard to find in on this route. Seefeld in Tyrol, 3.2 kilometers. And then after that, it is Giesebach and Scharnitz. I know a route like this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I can still highly recommend it. Slow down, buddy. Slow down. Yeah, we are now in a downward grade. Seefeld in 800 meters. Hopefully I'm not holding up a train there. No, there's just some wagons parked to the siding. These wagons, by the way, they're RMMS wagons. They were new to this route when it came out. I think they are still limited to this route, even in terms of layering. Welcome to Seefeld. See if the NPCs do anything funny. Seefeld is probably one of my favorite station buildings in terms of design. It is really nice. Next stop, Giesenbach in 6.2 kilometers. We have a clear signal. .6% downhill grade. I guess we're gonna be heading downhill all the way from here to what is it? Charnitz, and then the route continues on downhill all the way to Garmisch-Partenkirchen. speed limit will increase to 70 kilometers an hour in a minute. I actually did a full run on Mittenwaldbahn the other day, and I was just in the OBB 1116 in free roam off the Mittenwaldbahn. That was actually pretty fun. A 100 miles in the OBB 1020. Yeah, buddy. Braking, dynamic brakes online. But if I exceed a certain number of amps, a horn comes on. Ooh, nice. We can go up to 70. Kilometer to Giesenbach. There's the horn. Giesenbach, ladies and gents. Perfect stop, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome to the very small station of Giesenbach. This is the second to last stop before the service terminates at Scharnitz. I wonder where this road goes. Oh, it goes like up into the mountains. Cool. Oh, I need to put it in, if I switch it over to motoring. Oh. My mistake. That's the wrong button. Huh? Oh, the train brake. Scharnitz, our last stop of the day in exactly 3 kilometers. Let's get out of here. One thing I am interested about that I don't know is, can I switch from motoring to braking? I can. But it just gets rid of... I just have to reset the throttle. Actually want to stop right there and get a screenshot because this area looks rather nice, doesn't it? So if I line up the shot as nicely as possible, yeah, let's put motion blur to 50% exactly, please. There we go. And reduce the depth of field. There we go. And take the shot. And let's keep going. Alright, here we go. Starting to head downhill. Switch into dynamic brakes, please. At least we can go 70 kilometers an hour rather than 60. Charnet's at 2 kilometers. Kilometer to go. Charnets, ladies and gents. Next, if I was continuing the service, I didn't have to run the 1020 round the train and set it up for going back to Innsbruck. There's another train coming in. It is the Garmisch to Innsbruck. Man, this route really needs optimization. I'm not supposed to be running at only 20 FPS on a route like this. Which doors do you want me to unlock? The left ones? Alright, passengers loading. Can't believe the trouble with the thing, with the inducee that I had at the start. It was annoying. And alright. platinum medal, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, that is all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.